Hey guys, what is up? So today I'm going to be teaching you a very simple and easy bone chow hall recipe, or known as beef stir-fried with rice noodle, and it's very delicious. And usually this is a dim sum dish that is a must-get, but we're gonna make it at home today, and it's gonna be just as delicious. So let's go.
Alright guys, first off, we're gonna mince our garlic first. So get yourself 2 cloves of garlic, go ahead and peel them up first, and mince them up pretty fine or rough if you want. I'm doing them pretty fine because I don't like garlic chunks in my noodles. So get yourself a small bowl and put it in after you're done mincing it. And now we're gonna chop our other ingredient. Alright guys, this is your preference. If you can eat spicy, then go ahead and get yourself a jalapeno and cut them up into small little chunks. Well, this is up to you, so you don't have to add it in if you don't want it. But once you're done mincing it, go ahead and put it in the bowl with your garlic. Alright, next off we got a pepper. You can use any color pepper you want, and we're also going to use some bean sprouts. The bean sprouts, I'm just measuring it out by hand. I'm using one big handful of it, and we're going to wash it even though it said wash, because we don't know how dirty the machines are. So go ahead and rinse that as well, and after it, just leave it in the sink to dry out. So now we're gonna cut up our pepper. So just chop off the top like so, and this will give easy access to remove the seeds in it, and the top will be used as well. So just go ahead and cut the cartilage off the pepper inside, and the seed pod will come out in one whole piece like so. Alright, depending if you like pepper or not, I'm just using the top plus half the pepper, and we're just going to slice it up into 1/4 inch slices like so. While you're slicing the pepper, if you see any white spots like that, that is the cartilage, and we're just going to remove it. Alright, after you're done cutting up your pepper, go ahead and put it in a small bowl like so, and we're going to go ahead and cut some rice noodle up next. Get yourself a pretty nice big pot, and that's where we're going to put our rice noodles in, because we're also going to have to loosen up the noodles because they are pretty hard right now. Alright, so here we got our rice noodles. We got 3 packs of this rice noodle. This is about 2 to 3 pounds. And we're going to go ahead and remove it from the plastic bag and cut it into small little chunks like so. Some I'm doing small, and some other pieces I'm going to do big. I like different textures in my noodle, not all the same size. And just go ahead and put it in your bowl after you're done chopping up each one. Alright, after you're done chopping up your noodles, we're going to go ahead and cut our beef. Now, it's up to you to how much beef you want to use. I'm using a 2-pound London broil steak, which is, I didn't choose it, but I wouldn't recommend this if I were you. Get like short rib or New York strip. That is the ideal one that you want to use, or flank. But if you're using this cut, go ahead and cut the silver skin off, because that is not edible. Really, that is really chewy. So go ahead and slice it off like me, and I'm gonna do some diagonal slices to make sure it is tender while you eat it and it's not like a dog toy. So go ahead and slice it like so, just like that, and you'll see what mistake I make in a second. Yeah, I forget I removed that one too, but that's not it. Just watch. London broil is for braising. Don't do this with it. Boom, here's the mistake that I made. I tried slicing the beef up because of this stupid silver skin, and it went into my finger. So never cut up with a knife or near your finger, because this is what happens. And now I had to get a band-aid and waste my time disinfecting it because of this stupid London broil. But if you're using a London broil, keep slicing it like this. Alright, after you're done cutting whatever beef you're using, go ahead and put it in a small bowl and set it aside. And now we're going to start stir frying stuff and get things lit up. But cleaning up and safety is our priority as well. So go ahead and disinfect your table before you start the next step, so you're not unorganized. Alright, before we start stir frying stuff, we're going to get 2 teaspoons of black bean, and we're gonna go ahead and wash it really fast. And this is gonna be for our noodles. This is a crucial flavor point of our dish, and this is a must-have. Okay, so just get a little bit of water, swirl it around, and make sure all the dirt is off of it, and go ahead and drain the water. You don't want to soak it, or else all the flavor will be lost. But before we start stir frying, we need to make sure our noodle is ready. So go ahead and get yourself some hot water and just cover all the rice noodle in that pot that I told you to put it in. And go ahead and give it a stir and let this cook for basically a minute, because that's how long it'll take it for it to soften up, just like so. After your minute is up, we're gonna go ahead and cool down our noodles to prevent it from overcooking. So go ahead and pour it in the sink with a strainer, and just make sure the noodles is all cold. You can use your hand for this because this is not ready to eat yet. And make sure it is fully cold. Alright, now it's time to start getting stuff lit. So get yourself a wok and heat up 2 tablespoons of oil. Now, our beef is not going to be seared properly because we don't have a hot enough stove. So if you want to sear it properly, use a cast iron skillet, but I'm too lazy to do that, so no. So just pour in the beef in the wok if you're using one, and go ahead and make sure both sides is brown before we move on. Now, it is crucial that you don't overstack beef, or else it will not cook properly. So I went ahead and stuck it on the side of the wok. Now, you can do this, but it might stick if you don't oil it properly. Alright, now we got some Chinese cooking wine, and we're going to add in about a tablespoon of this in. This will help release the nasty beef juice. As you can see right here, this is nasty. But go ahead and remove it from the juices like so. And we're going to go ahead and empty the pan and give it a nice clean before moving on, because we don't want that flavor. Alright, once your pan is clean, we're going to heat up about 2 tablespoons of oil right here again, and we're going to start searing off and cooking our vegetables. So first off, we're going to start off with the densest vegetable, which is the peppers. So go ahead and add it in and let it cook for around 30 seconds first before adding in our bean sprouts and garlic. Right, just add in like so. And also, you would add your black beans in right here, but I forgot to do so, so just make sure you do that. And then 30 seconds later, we're gonna add in our bean sprouts, give it a nice stir, and once it is your preferred cookness, go ahead and remove it. I like it a little bit crunchy, so I remove it a little bit early. Alright, give the pan a quick clean before we start stir frying our noodles in. This will make sure our garlic or whatever's left over in it is not burnt. So go ahead and heat up 4 tablespoons this time. 3 to 4 is what you want. Switch it around, make sure everywhere is nice and greased. Once your pan is smoking, add in your noodles. Give it a quick stir, let this heat up for around 30 to 40 seconds before we start doing anything else to it. Alright, now we're going to add in our soy sauces. So go ahead and add 1.5 tablespoons of light soy sauce first. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. This is going to be default 2 tablespoons. And you're going to adjust accordingly after, okay? This is all up to you. I like my noodles a little bit darker, so I'm going to add a little bit more later on. Alright, give that a quick stir before we move on. Alright, as you can see, I add a little bit more of the dark soy sauce. Now that's my preference. Some people would cut off right now. And as you can see, I forgot to add in my black beans, but I added in right now. Which you shouldn't do because the flavor is not really infused in it as well. So give it a quick stir like so again if you add more soy sauce. And now we're going to add some sesame oil. We're going to add half a teaspoon of this. Now if you like sesame oil, go ahead and use 3/4 teaspoon of it. Alright, next off we're going to add in some sugar. We're going to add in 2 teaspoons of sugar and make sure you evenly distribute this so one part is not sweeter than the other. Alright, now we're going to start adding in our ingredients like so. I just added in the beef and we're going to let this heat all back up and cook this around 2 to 3 minutes until it is really hot to serve. Now this is your choice. I added in some fresh scallions. I added 2 stalks of it right into the noodles. Now you add this at the end because I like it a little bit raw and crunchy still. And now we're going to plate it and I'll see you at the taste test. Alright guys, here we go. Look at how amazing our guanciao ao ha is. Oh my gosh. This is all natural. We know what's in it. We don't, you know, some of the Chinese restaurants are a little bit sneaky with their stuff. Maybe they give you a little bit of rotten stuff, but we know this is all amazing. But definitely as a pointer, I do want you guys to not use London broil because that is a true mistake of doing this dish. Definitely get like flank or short rib or something more tender and amazing. Don't go for London broil. It's gonna be more chewy. Okay. Yeah. So I wasn't there to buy that, but yeah, I would have X'd off the first time. This is actually, it is really chewy, but flavor is on point. Amazing. We get the nice coloration on this. Definitely does taste restaurant quality. All costed under $15 for literally, this is enough to feed a whole family. This is probably 3 times as big as the one that you get at like a Chinese restaurant, which is definitely a value. The restaurants have a 95,000 BTU stove to make this, and the wok is carbon steel, okay? That's important because it heats up much faster and you would get the nice beef flavor out of it. The noodles would be better. You get that wok flavor, but you don't get it here. Amazing. 7 out of 10. Well, that's it. Please be sure to subscribe and drop a like below.